All worldviews are positions of faith. Stay tuned to see why that matters.
My life story. Yeah.
So I'm not really sure if religion has just kind of hijacked the word faith, or if secularists are just really bent on not being affiliated with anything religious whatsoever. But secularists that criticize religion hate it when you tell them that their worldview is their faith, which they shouldn't. If faith is something that you can't prove indefinitely, then everybody has faith, because technically you can't prove anything. For example, the concept of evidence. You can't prove that that's reliable because you have to use evidence in order to support that claim. Or even the concept of reality, or of your own memory. You can't prove that those things exist because you need to rely on those things in order to prove that they exist. You have to use those things in order to validate those claims. If you ever go study philosophy, you'll find that a philosopher named Rene Descartes drove himself crazy toying around with these ideas. But once we come to the conclusion that certain assumptions need to be accepted on faith in order for us to rationally go anywhere, then we can start comparing worldviews and how they pit up against each other. If the accusation of faith legitimately infuriates somebody so much to the point that they just stop listening to you, just ditch the argument and move on to something else, because honestly, this argument won't get you anywhere if you win. This concept may not benefit you argumentatively, but it's an important concept to recognize because every worldview, every human being accepts hundreds of premises, hundreds of ideas on faith alone. In ways that are more significant than people realize, all worldviews are on very similar playing fields in regards to what we accept as true without actually seeing it. Especially about claims concerning morality and truth. And it's your job to figure out what those assumptions are and question those assumptions. It's actually one of my favorite things to do in arguments is pick apart the assumptions that people are making and ask them why they believe that thing is true, or why they automatically throw certain things out as untrue. And it's surprising how often you'll see there aren't really answers that they've thought about that fit that question. So I don't know where this idea came from, that the concept of all worldviews being positions of faith is supposed to be some kind of like knock on other worldviews. The point isn't to talk bad about other worldviews or put other worldviews down. The point is to recognize that we as a human race collectively don't really know anything. And it's up to us to humble ourselves and get engaged with conversations with each other about what could and could not be true, and assess all of the factors instead of just trying to elevate our own. You can have an opinion, and I think it's your responsibility to voice that opinion and see how it pairs up against other rational worldviews. But I think it's equally as important to be able to humble ourselves and recognize when we're wrong about certain things. And I think every worldview says something that is true, but there's also no such thing as a perfect worldview, and every worldview says something that is wrong. So that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks for debating with me.